I would like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all well. Over here, it is kind of wet, gloomy, and yucky, and I hope that you are having that a different weather, that it's bright and sunny, or at least getting warmer. It is the third day of spring, so hopefully that's going to bring some nice weather to everyone. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to King Dolphin TV, our book interview session. As you know, this is what the basic mission of King Dolphin is to bring creators, authors, artists, etc. out to the open so that you could see what their work is and hopefully read their stuff or partake in their stuff. You know me, I'm Raymond Feliciano, the Dolphin King, head of King Dolphin TV, and author of the Dolphin Wars. Today, we have a good friend of mine. Her name is Graceli Kaye. I hope I pronounced that right. She is the author of the V.A.C Chronicles. It is it's a new adult drama series with relatable characters with real life issues. So, say hello, Graceli.
Hi.
I know, Lenrod.
This is my first interview.
I know. I'm trying a new background. We'll see how it goes. So let us welcome the people who make this pod what it is today. We have, as the Wrench Team Supreme, we currently have Legatus Legionii. We have John Rendell, and we should be getting Anti-Derivative Jill on later. And for the chatters that are out here, we have Snorter Poopus Cuber. We have who did already say hello to Graceli, and we have Lenrod, and we have Darrow Brewer. So, how we are going to do this, guys, is, and I know you may have questions, not quite yet, but I'm going to interview Graceli, and then after we go through the questions and all that, then I open it to you guys. And I know you have amazing questions, and we will make this a fun time for everybody. So, let us begin. So Graceli, and I am pronouncing that right?
Graceli.
Graceli.
You just let people get away with it.
Graceli. Okay. I'm going to massacre that, so please forgive me. As a little background, how I know her, we actually met at a book signing in 3rd and Charles in Maryland. And
2nd and Charles.
2nd and Charles, yes, that's true. 2nd and Charles. And Sandra got to talking to her, I got to talking to her, and we thought that it would be a great to do a joint signing session at a public library. And we did do that, and that went well. And then you know what happened. We ended up with the COOF. And that pretty much shut down everything. but we've kept in contact, and I thought it would be great to have her on and put her books out there, because that's what I do. So, okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Be
I'm a
as in
married
depth.
mother too, living in Falling Waters, West Virginia. Got 2 cats and a great husband.
Okay.
And I have a full-time job, and between that and chauffeuring the kids, I fit in writing where I can, sometimes sacrificing sleep, but it's worth it.
Did you go to college? Do you have a college or?
I went for a while, but then I dropped out.
Okay. Yeah. College is overrated. Legatus is already saying we got to sign each other's books. Well, I know I signed hers. Okay, so you're mother of 2, married, 2 cats. So
2 kids, 2 cats, 1 husband.
2 kids, 2 cats. Okay, and I saw your cat. He's kind of cute.
Yes, they do exist.
So what made you decide that you wanted to write period?
When I was younger, I started writing as a way to deal with things I couldn't work through in my own life, issues, trauma, and whatnot. I didn't realize until a few years ago that what I was doing was called narrative therapy. I give each character a little piece of me, help them get through it so that I can deal with it better myself. But there were all these started stories. Never was able to finish anything until recently. I guess it just wasn't at that stage yet.
Okay. And so let's go to the next question is, how long did it take your first novel to get into shape?
Once I started cracking down and really working on it, probably about 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
But it was started back in middle school. And it's been through so many changes and overhauls, all of them. And once I realized that I didn't have to say goodbye to the characters and they could be part of a series, I was finally able to finish it.
Okay. That sounds like my story. That it took, I started in high school, and it went through, the character, my main protagonist, stayed the same. It's just the cast, the surrounding cast, the supporting characters evolved and the plot lines evolved. So yeah, it took me forever until very recently. So once you had the first one done, already in the final process, ready to go out, how long did it take you to write your subsequent ones?
I try and put out one a year because I have so much of the base material that just needs to be filled in and expanded on. I write rather chaotically. If something comes in my head, whether it's chronological or not, it gets written down, flagged, and put in the same folder as the rest of the book. And then I just paste them in when needed.
Okay.
Because I don't like losing ideas.
Yeah. I found it I know I'm relating because we're just so, it sounds like our processes are about the same. That it's once the first one's done, the other ones come out very easily.
Yeah. Once you push past all the barriers, and it's so much better.
Yeah. So you have how many novels in your series?
3 so far. I'm working on a novella to follow the last one, and we're hoping to get that out this year too.
Okay. And you started going into this, but I'll just ask the question. Anyway, it's how many. What is your writing process? Do you have a process,
Um,
or is it pretty much what you say, what you've said?
it's a lot like that. My editor called me a lawful plancer and a chaotic plotter, meaning that I do the parts a little bit at a time. I know what the end is. That's not the fun part. It's getting them there. So I never get
Yeah.
bored, even though I know how it's going to end.
Uh-huh.
And they take on a life of their own, and I follow, take notes, and I learn more every time I sit down to work with them, my characters.
Okay. So you're very invested in the characters
Yes.
as you go. Yeah. So how many novels do you have in the series?
Still 3.
Still 3.
The first one came out as a second edition, but I still count it as 3 that are full on their own. And the other one was a 4th when I didn't have an editor. It just needed to be pulled.
Okay. Okay. Now, what my question is, and it's always hard. Thank you, Legatus. He put your links out there.
Oh, thank you.
So, yes, they can be found on Kindle, and she also has printed copies. So this is always the tough part to say. Can you do? Is it possible for you to give us a spoiler-free synopsis of each the book and how well they tie together?
That is the hard part. If I could do summaries, I wouldn't have 300-page books. Damaged ended up being first, even though I released Forgotten before it. I didn't realize it was part of the series at the time until I saw people tying together at the end. Mm-hmm. So in Damaged, the main character is trying to escape an abusive boyfriend and move across the country with her dad. Her parents are divorced, finding friends to help her deal with her trauma and make a better life for herself. And it's all about her journey.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can give you without spoiling that one.
Okay. How about Forgotten?
Forgotten starts when the main character gets in a car accident. She's in a coma for about 2 weeks of it. There's bits and pieces floating through. It's only in her perspective. And when she comes back, she's missing the past 2 years of her life. So she has to work through all the secrets people are holding because everybody seems to be so different and weird around her now. So it's her finding where she belongs and if the person she was is who she really wants to be.
Okay. And it's the same character? The same character as in Damage? Oh, okay, different character.
No. Damage, the main character is Geneva Blake, and Talia Martin is Forgotten.
Oh, okay. And then finally is Claimed.
In Claimed, I actually brought together, this will answer your other question, a side character from Damaged and one from Forgotten, who just decided they needed their own book. And in that one, it starts tying those two together, brings the series together, and we start seeing a lot more connections, and they have to work through their own issues because everybody needs issues in a drama series.
Of course.
And yeah. But she finds out that his friends brought her there basically for him, and she has to figure out whether everything is real or if it's just pushed onto them. She has to work on a lot for herself because of the things she went through in Forgotten. Oh. She is the main character's twin sister from Forgotten.
Okay. Now, so if you were to give this a genre, this sounds like it might be like a romance type series.
It's drama and psychological romance is what I was told.
Oh, okay. Drama and psychological romance. Okay, never heard that one before.
Yeah, I don't focus on the relationship so much if there are other issues that need to be dealt with and other things they need to focus on. Mm-hmm. But yes, there's always some sort of couple trying to get together or stay apart.
Okay. Okay. And is there, I tend to say that the author, the team behind the book, I call it, in this case, Team V.A.C. Besides you, who else is part of the group?
I have an editor. She lives in Spain. Her name is V.A.C Costa. She is just starting her own editing company. Work because she started with me. I met her through just an app that we were both reading on, and she started reading my stuff and got invested in the characters and just wanted to be a part of it. When I was doing Forgotten and decided that I didn't want to wait for publishers to make a decision and I just wanted to get it in the hands of the reader, I realized I need my own cover art. So my husband introduced me to his friend, Charlie Zackrell, who is my artist now. He's done all my covers. It's pen and ink, a little gothic, even though the stories aren't, but they're non-traditional stories, so they get non-traditional covers.
Okay. And we did, when we did the splash logo, when Pet for Hire did the splash logo, he included all 3 of the books there. So people, if you want to take a look at, they're on the cover, and you can take a look at those amazing book covers. So, okay. Those are all the questions I had. Did you have something you want to add before I open it up to the chat?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Hello, Anti-Derivative Jill. Thanks for coming on board. One of the three amazing wrenchers. Okay, let's see. Okay, we'll start with Legatus Legion I with the first question. And you did kind of answer it, but if you want to go into more detail, he asks, the first one is always the hardest. Has it gotten easier with the second and the third novel?
I would say yes, definitely. The hardest part, since it's a series, is making sure I keep the continuity going and don't have like gaps or things that directly contradict what went before. But with each book, I get to know the characters better, and they help me stay on track.
Okay. I'm also going to put in some comments too.
As does my editor, V.A.C.
Oh, okay. Cool.
She wants to know what happens next.
Yeah. Lenrod says, I do that with guitar riffs, always recording at random and saving them for later. Yep. And let's see. And John Regnall is commenting on Lenrod. Welcome to my world. Had to sell most of my studio gear 7 years ago. Still have my Tascam 80.8 reel to reel. What is in reel to reel? And Legatus, again, he is amazing. He will actually go in there and do the research and find things for us. So, hail Legatus. Let's see. And he comments, the executive summary, 200 page, a 200-page executive summary. That sounds about right. Yeah.
That would contain spoilers.
Yeah. Another one is, as your novels progress, do the age of the characters also age? Or will they be like Peanuts Archie, forever in the same age category? That's a good question.
They are aging. They're moving on in time as each one progresses. At some point, I will go back in time and do some earlier stories of parents and other family members, but the aging will always be appropriate for where they are in life.
Okay. And what is the target audience? Is it young adult or older?
It's more new adult, like 18 to 25. I think that most younger, any under 16 might not be ready for the topics that I deal with. But I think that anybody older than that could easily get invested in it.
Okay. All right. And John says, psycho romance. Welcome to my past. Could be anybody's. Okay. Anti-derivative Jill asks, what makes the romance? And this is a good question. This can probably go. This can probably be a
Yeah.
long discussion. She asks, what makes the romance psychological more than normal?
They all have a psychological issue they need to work through. One's dealing with abuse. Another one is dealing with amnesia. The third one, she's my favorite. She deals with ants, which are automatic negative thoughts. And she has a lot of them that she needs to work through in order to trust herself. So everybody gets something mental in addition to their external.
Okay. And when you say ants, that you don't mean the crawly things.
No,
That was an
and
acronym?
it's automatic negative thoughts. It's an acronym.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like fortune telling or the shoulds. Like, I should do this. Oh, no, I don't want to.
Okay.
I get those when I write sometimes.
Okay, let's see. Come on, guys, keep the questions going. We've got her here. She's got some good stuff out there, so let's ask questions. Do you find working with or without background noise easier, such as TV or music?
Depends on my mood at the time. I tend to create playlists for whatever I'm working on. Sometimes it's to drown out my kids. Sometimes it's just because it is inspiring. I find I'm better with bilateral stimulation when I'm doing something physical at the same time as something mental. So I have a little foot swing under my desk, and I have a little bike seat that I can use at my desk. So it's the ADHD. It takes me in all different directions. So yes, having more than one thing going on at once helps.
Oh, okay. Now I know, do you also, when you go through plot lines and stuff like this, or think about your characters, do you play them in a role, say like you're sleeping or trying to sleep and you've got thoughts racing, so you automatically focus in on your character or take them through a plot?
I don't think in pictures. I think words and conversations, and when they come to me, I do it, and then that inspires me to spin off of it and make more. And usually it comes when I'm driving and can't. So I rush to get to work and write it down.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But the random scenarios, I just write them down as soon as they come up, if I can. And if not, then when I can. Sometimes I will put my phone on to talk to my editor and just voice record everything, spelling mistakes and all, from whatever it picks up, because I know I can go back later, and she's used to me doing that to her. She's like, I'd rather you do that than lose it. Go.
What do you mean, Legatus? I'm getting shin kicked by Legatus. He says continuity. Hey, Legatus Legion 9. He won both my books in a raffle to celebrate my getting 100 subscribers, and he has taken my book with a fine-tooth comb. I think I'm going to hire him as my next editor, because he just took it and he's saying continuity. I have continuity.
That actually made the third book take a little bit longer, because I realized an entire chapter couldn't happen when it did. So I had to fix that.
Tape recorder. Let's see. Yeah, you guys. Legata says, so it's for those young at heart, regardless of physical age.
The characters or the books themselves? The
books
readers?
themselves, the books themselves, Legatus, if you could clear that up. And Jill says, great answer, and thanks you for it.
Thank you.
Daryl Brewer asks, do you feel that most of your thoughts and ideas for your creativity focus on one specific type of genre, or do they flow between different ones? Good
one. It's usually the psychological romance drama in that age group that I stick to. Sometimes it ends up being about the parents or older family members. I just haven't finished those yet. So I would say I'm pretty focused on the series. In fact, sometimes it's hard to get out of it and read somebody else's if I'm in the middle of writing a book.
Okay. That's a good question. Is this a planned series of a certain number of novels, or so long as you've got the inspiration story to tell, will you keep on going?
This one's ongoing. I've got plots for about 20 of them.
Wow.
And as long as the side characters are telling me they want stories of their own, I have to go with it.
Wow.
So I'll keep writing until I can't anymore.
Okay. Hello, I'm Amaranth FTW. Okay, let's see. Come on, guys. I know you got questions. Okay. Yeah, okay. He's written for 20 to 25 years young in spirit, if not actual physical age.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Excuse me a moment.
Animal check.
Pacing. Huh?
Animal check.
Okay. Yes,
Animals?
he's pacing. Yes, he's pacing. I think he's irritated that he's not being seen in the background. Let's see. Yeah, well, maybe toward the end. Jill asks, are they set in the past or near present?
They're present time. I don't specify a year because I want them to be a little bit timeless and could be picked up anywhere. The only thing that really dates them is the technology they use at the time.
Okay.
And even some of those I've found explanations for why they use the outdated stuff. Other than I was writing in middle school.
Yeah. Come on, I actually used the old manual typewriters. Those were still around. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, how are you? Okay, how is the actual printing handled? Who is doing your publishing?
Amazon is printing all the books. I buy them directly so I can sell them at signings and stuff. The last cover, like the entire paperback, I did the layout and designed that, other than the art. But my editor helped me with the layouts on the other two, and everything is now uniform. Same fonts on them, same little boxes. Everything's nice and as it should be. But yes, Amazon does the actual printing. I haven't found anybody else, but I haven't looked that hard.
Yeah, I've got to get that formatting from you.
Once you have a format, it makes everything a lot easier.
Yeah. Although there are comments about Legatus Legionnaire from somebody else saying they like the resetting page count. So there too. Yeah, reset the page count. Let's see. John says, waiting for Snoopy to jump in. Yes, he's right behind me. You can see him. For those that need a Snoopy fix. Let's see. John Rendell says, Mrs. typewriter had a new print ball and ribbon, and then the company threw them away. Aw, guys.
He wants to say hi too.
Yes. What's his name?
My baby. That's Umi. He's our Maine Coon. He's 1.
Umi? Okay. Yeah, Maine Coons are cool.
Short for Umbreon, but I really didn't want to name him after a Pokemon. That was my 8-year-old.
Okay. Lenra
Just call him
asks,
Umi.
what? Okay. Lenrod asks, what does V.A.C stand for?
It stands for Valencia Anders College. Everything either takes place at it or people have gone there in the past. They have ties to it in some way. It's like the focal point.
And it's a fictional college.
Yeah. All the towns in the college, it's all made up because I didn't want to offend anybody if I got their town's details wrong.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Laganis. But somebody who actually read the book likes that. Okay. Okay, guys. We still got plenty of time. Questions? So, how now have you found that? Do you prefer the signing? Do you prefer the live signings or having your books go be ebooks via Kindle?
I like it when people read through Kindle Unlimited because I can track who's reading and how much, not the person, but how many pages are being read at a time. And that always gives me a boost when I see it because it's not often. Mm-hmm. I find I do better in in-person sales, whether friends, family signings, whatever. It's just, and I have trouble talking to people, so I'm not sure how that works. But it's just the in-person seems to work better, word of mouth and whatnot.
Yeah, you did really well at the one we did at the library.
Thank you.
And it's a shame that the COOF, I say COOF because the algorithm doesn't like the real word. But I know it hurt me when I wanted to do signings. Did it hurt? Did it really hurt you when you had a planned signing? And
there, like I said, that's where I do better. So I was hoping to be able to do that more. So I just pulled back and worked on getting the other book out.
Okay. Snorter Poopus Cuber says, the town and college are fictional, but are they in a particular state?
It's several states, and yes, they're like Anders is in California. The old hometown that Geneva's trying to escape and damaged is located in Virginia. Lewis Meadow from the second book is in Maryland. And then I also have more people in Iowa that I'm working on.
Okay.
But yeah, all other towns are fictitious.
Okay. Let's see. And see, Lanrod thinks it's cool. Guys. Let's see. Anti-derivative Jill asks, do you have anything that helps you get through writer's block? Yes, I'd like to know that myself. I've had a bout or so.
I really don't have writer's block anymore. My problem is that I have too many ideas in my head, and it's hard to find one stream at times. When I was going through it, my mother-in-law gave me this book called A Writer's Book of Days, and it gave you prompts to go through. And I just compiled all and pulled something out when I needed it. Some of them have made it into the books. Some were just scribble. But overall, I figure if I'm stuck on something, that it's because something else will need my attention, and I just go in another direction, save it for what it is, and then come back when I'm ready.
Okay. And Deef said, sorry, he just got here. How many books did you write? She has 3. Damaged, claimed, and forgotten. I probably screwed up the order, but
you were close. It's damaged, forgotten, claimed.
Okay. Do you have a title for 4 yet, or that's in the...
The short story that's coming out is The Ties That Bind Us, but the next full-length novel should be Mistaken if I can get back into it.
Okay.
They're giving me trouble because one of the main characters is annoying me. I don't like his personality, but that's who he is, so that's how I have to write it.
Don't you just love when the
Because
characters
he's an
talk?
18-year-old boy.
Don't you love how the characters have attitudes when you're trying to write them?
They really do, and there's some that butt in when they weren't even supposed to be in that chapter or even in that book. But then they say something great, and I have to go with it. So I do.
Yep.
Because that's where it fits in the timeline. We can't screw up the chronology.
That's true. Let's see. John Rendell says he worked at a college for 14 years. Great place for drama. Yep.
That's what I thought.
And Lenrod says reverse writer's block. I wish.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get compiled in my head too long and I don't let them out, migraines. So I kind of have to write or I'm in pain.
Really?
I told you, my characters are bossy.
Oh. Okay.
Or if I write something different than they think it should be, headache.
Oh, wow.
And I have to go back and rewrite.
Oh, my. That's interesting.
But my therapist says I'm not crazy. The voices in my head are normal. That's just how I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can relate to that. But in my case, it's probably craziness. Legatus Legionii asks if you're planning to keep the one-word titles or expand to 2 words later on.
For the most part, there is the EN, ED ending scheme on them for alternating, but some of them will be longer. Short stories won't have to follow the same pattern. Anything that is a prequel won't have to follow the same pattern. And then there's probably a spin-off series because the characters are getting too large from another region. And they'll have their own set pattern too.
Oh, okay. You say this and I keep it I in my mind I'm thinking that you got these line of characters at the store knocking on the door, said, let me out, let me out.
Yes. Hey, listen to me, I got something to tell you.
Yeah, let me out.
Yeah.
Or not the mama, not the mama.
I mean, there is one that's supposed to come after Mistaken that's 2 words. It's Inked and Pierced, and the main character's a tattoo artist.
Ah.
So
Okay.
It's just the ending of the words, pretty much, that are guiding the main books in the series right now.
Okay. Deef asks, he's also an author. He's in the process of getting his book published. He says, how do you choose what good ideas to keep and what good ideas to throw away?
Whether they fit into the story or not, once I try and fit them in there. If they don't, even if I love them and it makes me cry to cut them, I do. If I can reword it and work it elsewhere, I try. But It's the story has to flow, whether I love something or not. And if it doesn't work at all, it gotta go.
Okay.
You can't stay here. Plus, I have my editor to tell me if something just doesn't work where it's at. So I'm not the only boss here.
Okay. You're just the person putting the words on the paper.
Mm-hmm. The characters do what they want. I'm just here to write the damage report.
Daryl asks, even though they're fictional locations, do you use real world location references that factor into the story development? That's a good question.
They don't really factor into the story development, but some are referenced, like the airport nearby that everybody flies into when they're going between the two coasts. I reference that. I have an area in California that I chose, so I make sure to talk about the forest and the mountains around it because they're not on the West Coast. They're more inland.
Okay. Legatus. Via your link tree, when purchasing one or all, is there an option for autographs and personalized ones?
Yes, but that would be directly through me rather than Amazon because otherwise we'd be shipping to me and then out to you. But like I said, I have books on hand. I can autograph and send just about anywhere.
Yep. I can relate to that. John, I can relate to this one. 8 of 10 voices in my ear are apathetic about anything I do. The others are just stinkers. I'm sure we all have that type of voice dichotomy. And actually, it's head voices in his head. He corrects himself.
Some of them are on track. Some are just brats. Some just want attention. Some are look at me.
Oh, so you got drama queens.
Mm-hmm. You write what you know, right? I know a lot of drama queens.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Snort and Legatus can say I've got a couple drama queens in my books. Lenrod says, will the short stories be conglomerated into their own book or will they be on their own?
As of right now, there's only one, but at some point I will put them all together once I have more to add to it.
Okay.
We jokingly refer to that as the Unicorn Diaries because one of the side characters, Carrie, is referred to as a unicorn due to her pastel-colored hair. And she's trying to direct everyone from the sidelines and keep them on whatever path she believes they need to be in. So she sees a lot more than she gets screen time for.
Okay. Diff says he's terrible at coming up with titles. Circle of Vengeance and The Eyes of a Killer are the only two that I can think of. Don't know what I'm going to do now. They'll come once you start writing.
Maybe if there's like a word or phrase that pops up more than once in the story.
Yeah.
Then it would be a recurring theme and probably a decent title. And you could build off of it from there.
Yeah. And Snort says, without giving any spoilers, was there a character that you were happy to see the last of in your stories, or one that you were sorry to see the last of?
Both. But I don't think I've actually ever gotten rid of people. I've just put them where they need to be. There was Damaged and Claimed are both multi-perspective. Each chapter may have a different person doing it, and it's listed at the beginning. And sometimes I had to get in Psychopath's head and write his, and it was really hard. So when he went away, that was good. Because I got nightmares out of that guy.
He was demanding, huh?
He was creepy.
Ooh.
He bothered me a lot. But that's who he had to be, and that's how it needed to be told. So I did it.
Oh, okay. So sometimes these characters can, from what you're saying, sometimes these characters make such an impact that it could carry on into reality.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I'm always thinking of them, for good or bad.
Wow.
Doesn't work so great at my day job, though.
It's only bad when you start talking to them and you're and other people are listening to them or listening
Some
to
people
you.
want to hear it. I've got some of my coworkers reading it.
Oh, cool.
Them, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wait. Snort says the voices in my head refuse to talk to me.
Tell them you're going to make other friends. They'll get jealous and come right back.
John Rindle says one of mine is a cat. Aw.
As my cat pokes his head up from under my desk.
Speaking of which, you must be elsewhere. Let's see. Deef says you can use the titles I was planning on using. Book 1, book 2. That would be interesting. Okay. Most of the voices in my head think I know how to unbleep whatever situation is, whereas there are a couple that critique and scheme on how to make things a more grandiose screw up.
Yeah, mine do too. It just translates to paper really well.
Hello, Orville Nation. Welcome, PJ. Glad to have you. Okay. So Deef is using those as his provisional titles, book 1 and book 2. Yeah.
Well, you got to have something to file your stuff under.
Yeah. Let's see. John Rendell says, for some of my song demos, I use the color and another word for revenge. For example, Black Vendetta. But there's only 2, as far as I know, there's only 2 meanings of revenge. So you're going to be alternating between those 2. I have to get my thesaurus out.
Just change up the colors.
Yeah, change the colors. Red revenge. That sings. There you go, John.
Red betrayal.
Yeah. Let's see. If others were listening to conversation I was having with myself and asked, I just tell them I needed expert advice. I tell you, these guys make interesting comments, interesting questions. Legatus Legion I asks, when you record, write down scenes or dialogues to you. Sometimes say them out loud in their voice and get looks around from a. Oh, yeah. When you record, write down scenes, dialogue to you. Sometimes say them out loud in their voice and get looks from those around you. Or when you do it out loud, is it when no one else is around?
I don't really like my voice that much, so no, I don't talk for them. I can hear them quite clearly in their own voices in my own head. So okay. I don't need to repeat it out loud. If I do, it never sounds right anyway.
Oh, okay. Let's see. There's one. Revengers of Vengeance.
Black Edition.
Yes, the Black Edition. Let's see. All right. Any other? That one. Got to break out the thesaurus. Okay. Guys, we've been on for an hour. If you've got any more questions, please bring them out now. It's your time, buds. Okay. Let's see. And again, you can find her books in Kindle and Amazon. And I'm putting the link out there now. Okay, wait. Dave came later, so he didn't get the question. He didn't hear the question before. How many do you plan?
There's a plan. I just do what I'm told. But there's about 20 outlined, and we just go from there.
Okay. I like that.
As long as there's a story to tell, I tell it.
Yeah. Do they shin kick you? Do they shin kick you when they want to get your attention?
Poke, 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 poke.
Oh, they poke?
No, it's just usually loud and headachy.
Snoopy. Someone's needy. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, if there is no other questions, I will start with the show notes, and we will. Oh, there's. Oh. They're talking. There's a bee conversation talking about music in the background. There appears to be several ace of spades. Which one is the real one, John Rendell? So we've got a B plot out there. We've got a B story out there. Legatus asks, when can we expect the Netflix series to come out?
Were you reading the comments on Amazon? One of my readers, who's another author, said that she expected to come out as a new Amazon or Netflix series at some point. So whenever they pay attention to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd be all for it.
Yeah. Same here.
You got enough drama to keep people entertained for quite some time. But I should probably get some more books written first. Otherwise, they might take my story in a direction I don't want it in because they ran out of source material.
True. That's true. Yeah. And then you want to make sure that you have the right people doing justice to your story.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the rough part. That's the rough part. I know I don't want the mouse anywhere near. I don't want the mouse defiling my books at all.
Fair enough.
Anti-Derivative Jill asks, if you have a Netflix series, do you have an actress or actors you'd like to play your characters?
Not really at this point. Like I said, I don't think visually, so I don't see them as well as other people might in their heads. So I have a vague idea of what they look like. I'm more in their heads than looking at them. So as to come up with actors and actresses for them, not so much. But I'd know it when I saw them.
Okay.
One of my friends introduced me to a mutual friend now, and when I saw him, like, you are Gabriel. I did not know that he looked like you, but he does, because everything just clicked into place. So when I see someone, then if they do fit the character, I get it, it clicks.
Mm-hmm.
But premeditated, not so much.
Okay. Okay.
Like, he was already established. I had written what he looked like, and this guy just walks into my life.
Legatus Legion I says Game
He doesn't
of
have a
Thrones.
story yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Legatus
running out of
Legion,
source material.
Legatus Legion I ask Game of Thrones style. Yeah. They got to finish the damn book. He's got to finish the series first.
Yeah, they ran out of source material, and it went downhill.
Yep. And Snorter Poopus says, good luck with the books, present, and future. It's a brave thing to finish a book and get it published. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, your first one, it came out in 2019 or 2020?
The first edition of Forgotten was 2018, and then
Oh.
Damaged was 2019.
Okay. So they've been
and the second edition of Forgotten was 2020, and Claimed was 2021.
Okay.
So I'm averaging a book a year. It's just not like the same exact day or month even. It's whenever it's ready.
Yeah.
Because I hate saying go and coming back, there's a typo.
Yeah. Dave says
I made it
full create
through like 80 rounds of editing by 2.
Yeah. Dave says demand
have
full creative control.
To add that.
Okay.
That's where becoming established comes in handy. It's like I don't have a lot of followers at the moment, but I'm only 3 books in. Most series that I picked up were not at the beginning. There were always quite a few out there. So I figure once I satorate the market a little more, things will pick up.
Yep.
And then maybe Netflix or Amazon will pay attention to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, well, you got the character. I mean, you've got enough characters to keep you busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, you've got to rub it in. Oh, it's you, Lenrod. Yes, I know. Okay. It's amazing. You can have 3 people reading it, editing it, and stuff still shows up.
Yeah. And even if you've reread it a million times, you know what's supposed to be there. Your brain fills in the blanks. So you really need as many other people as possible. Anyone else's errors, I can pick those out right away.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it makes it will make the second edition much better.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Maria with Tiantelli. Welcome. Glad you're here. I'm not going to put that question out there, Legatus. No, I am not going to put no. I have to. I got to treat my chat all the same. What is more nerve-wracking, an in-person book signing or a King Dolphin TV interview?
They each have their own. Like, towards the end of my workday today, my anxiety went way up because I realized I didn't write down any summaries for you, spoiler-free synopses. I'm like, oh no. And I'm training someone at work, so I've got that on top of this. The nerve-wracking part of in-book signings is I'm bad at starting a conversation. Because it's like, I'm sorry to bother you. But here you're leading it, so that helps a lot.
Well, thank you. Let's see. Deef says, he hopes you knock it out of the park. There's an appetite for new stories in the world. God bless. Same with you, Deef. Hope yours comes out. Hope yours done well.
Yeah.
and get successful. Okay. And I think on that note, we will start wrapping things up. For the and Maria with Tea and Telly says a big welcome to you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're here, Maria. Glad you were able to come on. Same with you, PJ from Orville Nation. Okay, I think at this point we've been an hour, and I had a great time. I hope you did, Graceli. And
Yes.
The chat, you guys, as always, had great questions. And Legatus, put your link tree out there. Oh, and Pat S., how are you? Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Thank you for coming, and thank you for dropping a like. If you have not dropped a like, please drop a like if you like what we're doing out there. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, and we will. I would greatly appreciate it, and it shows that we are doing good things. So, I'm going to go into what.
Oh, I was reading the comments, the bottom one.
Oh yeah, click that like button. Yeah, that's that comes out a lot in the comments here. Again, follow Graceli at the link tree.
It has every link you could need to get in touch with me or follow anything.
Okay. And yes, this interview was brought to you by thedolphinwars.com. Thank you. All right. So now show notes. On the 26th, we will be having more of our beloved producer, Sandra, who is out on location on a secret mission. And we may have Rennie A as a guest again. It could all, but that's all depending on that may also depend on if I can get that interview with the rated preparatory program arranged and when they want me to do it. So we'll see what they have to say. But right now, it's going to be the Just Cuz with more of Sandra on location, more nutty news. I got a special story for nutty news and just the usual mayhem. We have on the week of the 28th, if they plan on doing it during the week of the 28th, that I'm going to have it scheduled on the 30th, the rated preparatory program, and on the 31st, three interviews in a whole, 3 streams in a whole week. How will I survive? On the 31st, we will have 4 Paws Protection. They provide protective gear for police working dogs, for police canines. So we'll talk to them on that. On April 6th, we will have the Comic Relief Crusader on to talk to him. On April 9th, Graceli and I will be doing book signings at a local bookstore, Fuzzy Dog, and I have mentioned to the proprietor if I could perhaps record it for Just Cuz. So I'll see how that goes. We've got on the 13th we will get a tour of the updated bunny trail facility. This is a bunny rescue in California that I've been working on. And in fact, while on that, let us get the latest Jamie Lee updates. Okay. second here. The latest Jamie Lee updates. Okay, the latest Jamie Lee update is 27.90, so it's still holding tight. They're trying to get $5,000 so that the poor little bunny rabbit can get a surgery to take care of an infection in her eye. So again, if you want to help out, look at us. I'll put the link out there and the GoFundMe site so you can donate. And if you can't for whatever reason, put the stream out there in Twitter, Facebook, wherever you think it would be the most good. We got to get that little bunny cured. So as John Rendell says, bunny money, help the bunny. Try saying that 10 times fast. There it is. There's the GoFundMe site. So please pass that around. And let's get Jamie Lee over the top. Okay. And let's see. Other show notes. On the April 20th, we will have Janet from Another Planet showing off, telling us about her channel and showing off some of her artwork. So it's a busy April, and we're working on things in May. I'm going to announce Anti-Derivative Jill and I have been working on a secret project, and I will announce it now. We are going to where's Pudgy when you need him? We are planning on doing a multi-person reading of the All's Fair prologue. Probably sometime in May. We're still rehearsing, and it's sounding pretty good. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. So that is all the show notes. John says that 10 times fast. We got a bunch of comedians in this chat, in case you haven't noticed already. Graceli, this was great. I really enjoyed it. It's good getting back in touch with you, and I hope you enjoyed this, and keep up with good work with your books. I hope they're very successful, and that it goes well for you.
Thank you. Same for you. Thanks for having me. This was fun. After I got over the initial nerves.
I'll tell you what, my bunch of people, they are very welcoming. They're a good bunch of people. They're the best chat in YouTube. Yes, I will say that. But yes. Oh, and lastly, on the Saturdays where we don't have interviews, just cause, beware, be very aware. So let me say good night to our wonderful chat. Good night to the Wrench Team Supreme, Legatus Legionii, John Rendell, Anti-Derivative Jill. Good night to the amazing chat, small but feisty, Snorter Poopus Q Burr. As always, glad you were here. Lenron, thank you for coming, buddy. You got to come on and jam. We got to hear some music. Daryl Brewer, thank you for coming. Amaranth FTW, also known as Matt G. Deef and his great books. Please look up Deef's books, The Eyes of a Killer, and and wish him luck on his books. Orville Nation, PJ, good to see you here. don't forget to look up the Orville in June. Hopefully it doesn't become July or August or September. Maria with Tea and Telly, thank you, my dear, for coming. Hope you had a good time, and look forward to talking to you again. Pat S., I know you were late, better late than never. Hope you watch the replay. And in absentia, on her secret mission, flying to help make Air Force pilots, is our producer, the Mistress Wrench, Sandra, my soulmate and better half. Miss you, honey. And keep flying and teach them well. So I think we are at a stopping point, and I'd like to say goodnight to all you chatters. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making Ms. Graceli Kaye feel welcome, listening to her books, and hopefully you'll go out there and get them. So let us continue to make some waves, and everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good week. See you Saturday.
This segment is brought to you by VA.com.